Hey, son, do you want to feel understood when you share your disappointment? So, express your disappointment with respect instead of labeling your dad, telling him, you are the worst dad ever. Imagine an hour ago, you asked dad if you can play outside, and dad said yes. But an hour later, it's raining right now and it's dangerous to play outside. And you ask dad, can I still play outside? And dad said, no, you might get hurt, accident. And then suddenly you feel disappointed because you expected to play outside. Since you can't regulate your disappointment, you told dad, worst dad ever. That hurts. The right thing to do is express your disappointment with respect. Here's how you do it. Here's how you do it. Since you feel disappointed, you could say, Dad, you said yes earlier, but now you said no. That made me feel disappointed. Just want to let you know. Can we talk? Let's talk about it. That's how you express your disappointment. Expressing your disappointment with respect is very important. First of all, when you do it, dad knows what you really feel, what's in your heart, so we can talk calmly, then solve the problem together. And plus, you feel understood at the end. But without it, without expressing your disappointment with respect, how will I know when you feel disappointed if you won't tell me? What happens is you feel more angry inside and then you explode. That's why you told dad you're the worst dad ever. That sounds great, but you know what, dad? Honestly, it's so hard to express my disappointment since I feel disappointment in the moment. Yeah, it's hard on in the beginning. Every beginning is always the hardest part. And I'm just here to guide you. One thing you can do is to let it out. Name what you feel and then express it to me with respect, with a loving tone. But dad, it's not fair. You said yes earlier and now you're taking it back. That makes sense. Do you want to get accident? Imagine you slept on the floor, you hit your head on the floor, right? Terrible. We can play together when the rain stops. But Dad, I didn't mean that. I didn't mean it. I was just disappointed. Plus angry, plus annoyed. Yeah, that's fine. That's okay. Right now, you know what to do, right? You just need to express them with respect next time. Just let me know how you feel so we can talk about it. But Dad, I feel scared. What if you think of me? What if you think I am weak because I share my disappointment? Of course not. Letting me know how you really feel is very important because I genuinely want to know how you feel. So telling your emotion is the right thing to do. But Dad, when I don't get what I want, it feels like you don't care about me. Just like taking back your yes. Sorry to make you feel that way. My Me saying no made you feel that I don't care. Just want to let you know that I do care from the bottom of my heart because I love you. Now, here's what happens when you're labeling your dad, telling him you're the worst dad ever. Of course, you are violating our family values of honor, honoring your mom and dad. And then you start to build that habit of saying, you're the worst dad ever whenever you feel disappointed. And if you say that many times, 100 times, you're being judgmental person because you thought it's your fault, dad. You made me angry. Basically, you're making dad feel hurt because he thinks, whoa, wow, worst dad ever. Maybe my son doesn't respect me. And since your brother is watching your action, he may think maybe telling dad he's the worst dad ever is okay. And your friends, they perceive you as someone who judge people quickly. And they might think if Emmanuel told his dad that way, maybe they will call us the worst friends too when we disappoint him. Son, basically, remember you wanted to feel understood when you share your disappointment. But with this action, you're not getting your desire to feel understood. You are hurting everyone. Now, how would you feel when your dad is telling you right now, you are the worst kid ever, unloved, and that exactly what dad feels too. Now, here's what happens when you express your disappointment with respect. First of all, you are practicing our family values of kindness. And then you start to build that habit of expressing your disappointment, meaning speaking of that I feel disappointed, give me time to think. And if you say that many times, you are becoming compassionate person because you believe that can make mistakes, but he is not the mistakes. That's not his identity. He's just human, and that's part of life. Yeah, of course, you're making dad feel loved because he thinks, "Wow, my son is learning to express his disappointment with me, and that's being vulnerable. How courageous my son is." And your brother is learning from you that maybe expressing my disappointment is the right thing to do, just like what my brother is doing right now. And he may be a loving person too. And your friends, they see you as someone who is careful with his words, especially when he feels disappointed. Basically, you are getting your desire to feel understood when you share your feelings because you're expressing it with respect. And how would you feel when your dad is expressing his disappointment with respect? Or, to be specific, when your dad is telling you, I just feel disappointed right now, my son. I need time to think. Inspired. And dad feels inspired too. I feel like I am whispering right now because they already said it. Now, what if you told dad you're the worst dad ever? Own it. And that's okay because you didn't know it was a bad behavior before and you didn't know you needed, what was the right thing you needed to do. So that's valid because you were unaware. And remember, the problem here was the bad behavior, not you, never. And maybe the right thing to do is to forgive yourself and apologize to your dad for making him feel hurt. Apologize for your brother and friends for teaching them the wrong thing, for being a bad example. And in case you label your dad again the worst dad ever, remind yourself your desire. Do I want to feel understood with my disappointment? Yeah. What if you expressed your disappointment with respect before? First of all, great job. You did the right thing. Thank you for giving your effort. to try to express them with respect. For expressing it with respect, please keep doing it. You are on the right track. And every time you do that, you know, you're becoming loving son, and I'm proud of you for doing the right thing. Remember, to be compassionate person, it requires repeated work of expressing your disappointment with respect instead of labeling your dad. And you got this. Now, since you are now aware that labeling your dad, telling him the worst that ever is a bad decision, and expressing your disappointment with respect is the right thing to do. That's why your challenge today is whenever you feel disappointed, express them with respect. Try to say, Dad, I feel disappointed. Let me think. I know you can do it. Day one, your first try is always the hardest. Just give it a try. So you can do it. I believe in you, and see you tomorrow at 4 p.m. Okay, story of the day. Uh, 7 chicks were being hatched today. Two left chickens, and I am talking about the hatched chickens, and I covered the nest with the green net so that the chicks won't fall. And my intuition was right. I checked around 3 p.m. earlier, and two chickens were on the net. If I didn't put the net beside the nest, the two chicks will fall 100%, and they will either die or fractured bones. And good thing I did the right thing. Now they are saved. They are safe right now, and I'm so happy for them. And I don't know if I mentioned earlier or last episode that my niece Faith, she has skin disease, bulutong, and everything started from me. It made me realize that be aware, be sensitive of your actions because it can affect other people just like the skin disease, right? So be sensitive, be careful with your actions, and that's it for today's episode. See you tomorrow at 4 p.m. I feel like I'm whispering because they are listening to me, and I don't know if you can hear me.